Do you want to be efficient or do you want to be effective? I work with a lot of people who are very, very efficient, and they get a lot of stuff done in the course of a day or a week. But where's it all going for them? How's it all add up? Where are they actually measuring and managing? Because the bottom line is, how effective are you? And what are you being effective at? What are you trying to be effective at? Because if you know what you want to be effective at, then you know what you need to be efficient with. But let's not get the cart in front of the horse. Let's be effective. And being effective is based on a vision of something. So we have all these different things in life that we're trying to balance and work with. And one of them is the point of it. And it can be very scary to ask ourselves, what's the point of it? I understand why we choose not to track certain things. You know, we'll talk about other people and say, I can't believe they don't do that. I can't believe they haven't thought about that. Well, I'll tell you something. There's a lot of stuff all of us haven't thought about or taken action on. I mean, really. It's kind of a step-by-step thing. And when you want to measure and manage something, you got to get very real with yourself. It's like why a lot of people don't have a budget. They don't have a budget because if they did, it would shock them at how much money they spend, how much money they piddle away, how much they actually spend eating out or what have you, that they just didn't see it in an accumulative kind of way. So what is it that you're measuring and managing? What are you trying to be effective at? Have a mission. Have some sense of a vision. Maybe you don't know that much about what it is just yet. That's okay. But do you know enough of it? A little bit that you can start to act on it? Right now? What would that be? What would be effective for you right now? The mission, the purpose, the idea, the point involves a lot of soul searching. A lot of good soul searching. Because we got to get at it and we got to get at what's in the way of it. And so then we can measure accurately. So some people I work with have enormous energy. I mean, these people, they're like furnaces. They have so much energy. But they tend to be all over the place. And what they don't realize is they only get 168 hours a week. And I've sat down with people and I've said, okay, you're working on this. How long does it take? And we'll go through the entire process. It can be very laborious sometimes to go through all little steps. But the bottom line is we come to an agreement and a conclusion. And that is they spend 20 hours a week on this project in order to move it forward, let's say. And then they got this project over here and then this project over here. And it's like, oh, okay. You add it all up, it's like, wow. And when am I sleeping? Yes. When are you sleeping? So you got to be methodical about this. You got to be thinking a little bit. What are your priorities? How do you align them? How do you batch things together? So while you're doing one thing, you can kind of do another thing, get that done. Life is an art. It is a beautiful art. And there's a lot of nuance to it. And you're your own artist. And you got your own brush and your own canvas. But you got to have an idea going in what you're trying to do. When people that I'm working with start to hit rough patches, like maybe the motivation goes down, the enthusiasm, the results aren't maybe what they'd like, what I realize is they're starting to get distanced from their vision. They're losing track. They're losing sight of what their vision is. Now, sometimes your vision can be in transition. That's fine. There are periods like that. They're called the stages of life. And they involve shifting visions. But if you're really having trouble kind of on the day-to-day, back up a little bit and look at the macro and say, what is my vision here? Either for my whole life or this segment of life. I'd love to know in the comments, what part of life are you struggling with and where you think you could take some action to improve it. Love to hear from you. So your vision is important, and it's totally related to the execution of things. And sometimes when we're in the midst of something, we've got to kind of see beyond it to say, that's what's going to sustain me, this felt state that it's going to be done and accomplished and how good I'm going to feel. Get in touch with the felt state. Use that as a momentum. Let that drive you. Keep clear. You know, they have this saying, you've heard it, you know, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Well, here's what I say. Keep your vision closest. Hold on to your vision, because your vision is going to drive all the tasks you do. That's how you become effective, because you've created a vision and you have a set of tasks that you're going to accomplish in order to reach that vision. And the effectiveness is in getting those tasks accomplished and in the right order. And it's real easy to get caught up in life. And we need some moments to just be detached from life and just back up and look and observe. It's like I say to clients all the time. When you have I found myself thinking moment or I found myself saying moment, that's critically important. Critically important. Because now you're free of your ego, and you're free of concern and consideration, and you're just saying what your truth is, what you're really feeling. And then if you can connect to what your needs are, what do you have a need for? That's another important piece. And just in this conversation, we've covered a lot of things. And there's a lot more things that could be covered. But it's like taking a pass at something, and then another pass and another pass. I'm working with a client right now who's doing a lot of editing of their life and their possessions and their stuff. And it's like, it's a process. You know, you own a home and you've lived in it for a number of years. You got a lot of stuff. And if you decide you're going to like edit and pare down, it's a process. And you do an edit and you get rid of certain things, repurpose certain things, that's great. And you probably need to do a second or a third or a fourth. Because if you try to do it all at once, you won't get through it. So I'm real big on the idea of what is 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, etc. When you're trying to establish some things, get some nice foundational points in your life, what is taking each of those things to a 1.0 level, not a 5.0 level? Because 1.0 means it's functional, it's serviceable, I can do something with it. Doesn't have the bells and whistles. That's a 2.3.0 type of thing. But if you got one part of your life that's at 3 or 4.0 and the rest of your life isn't even at 1.0, you're not balanced. It's not going to work. You're going to burn out. So let's continue this conversation. And I look forward to hearing from you. Put something down in the comments about how you're on a mission with your life. And like and subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon. Be safe, have fun, get something done.